What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to go over something that has never happened to me in my entire 4+ years of playing Raid Shadow Legends. And I'm going to be real. I'm a little bit bummed out, actually. So what I'm talking about is basically I am going to miss this fusion, this Mad Hatter fusion, and it's completely my fault. This is the first time this has ever happened in 4 years where I go for a fusion and I can't do it because I made a mistake. So I wanted to share it with you guys on this video. Make sure you guys know that I'm completely human. I'm full of mistakes as well. But I'm going to show you guys exactly what happened for me. So we see here on the calendar, we have this final summon rush event. So this final summon rush event gives us 50 final fragments for the epic to fuse and then fuse it into the Mad Hatter. What happened is I did plan to complete this summon rush so that I would pick up the last 50 fragments here and then use those fragments to build up my final epics. So what happened was that you can see here, I'm actually short. So even if I get the 50, I'm actually short 25. And what happened is basically I missed 25 fragments from one event. And I know exactly what happened here. From this tournament tab, I'm gonna go down into the Dragon tournament. This was the one that just ended. And here it is, the missing 25 fragments. And here is the devastating part of it, is because I was short just about 100 points from getting this fragment. So what happened was yesterday, I had a full day of work. My wife had work, and then I had to take care of the kid the whole day. It's just a stacked day. And I couldn't properly play the game. And what happened was that at the end of the day with the family and everything, I fell asleep. I just fell asleep. I was so tired, I fell asleep. And by the time I woke up, I didn't actually realize that the Dragon tournament had ended. I knew that I had some time, and I usually am awake during the end of these tournaments because of the way the time zones are structured. I usually am awake, and they end pretty, they give me a lot of time to finish these tournaments. But in this case, I slept completely through. I woke up, very late for myself. And then I didn't realize that I missed the Dragon tournament. I thought I completed it. And then I looked and I was going to do the summon rush. I was getting ready to pull. I have no issues pulling. I have lots of resources, lots of shards, no issues. And everything was going according to plan. But the execution failed in the end, right? So I have like 60 sacred shards ready to go. I can easily pull for those fragments. And like I said, the planning was there, but the execution did not work because I missed that 25. And then I realized that I lost the 25 from the Dragon tournament. And, to be frank, I'm pretty devastated to lose it because, like I said, guys, this is the first time this has ever happened to me in 4 years. So the first time I've ever gone for fusion and not gotten it. Okay. I go for every single fusion pretty much. Actually, there's one fusion in my entire 4+ years of playing this game that I did not go for voluntarily. I'll let you guys put what you guys think in the comments below. Which fusion you guys think that I did not go for voluntarily in my 4+ years of playing Raid. I'll give you guys 2 seconds here to put that down, but I'll show you guys right now in the index who it was. And it was actually from the Skinwalkers. Loraka. Loraka was the one that I said, no thanks. No thanks, Plarium. I'm going to voluntarily skip this fusion. And the reason why Loraka was the one that I skipped. So here's the Loraka fusion calendar from way back in the day. And the reason why I skipped this was that it was one of the first fusions where they removed the champion chase. And instead of putting one champion chase, one summon rush, they went with 2 summon rushes. So in this case, we had 2 summon rushes here, and both of them had 20 fragments. So which meant that you can't skip one of them fully. So we weren't allowed enough points to basically skip one of the summon rushes. So you had to participate in both to some extent. And obviously champion chase is a lot easier for most people. And this champion, when it was released, it was very mid. So basically out of protest, I said, no, forget this. I'm not doing 2 summon rushes with basically both of them being unskippable. And for a champion that doesn't make any sense and it's pretty bad. So I just voluntarily skipped this fusion. And it's the only fusion that I've ever actually skipped. But in this case, the Mad Hatter here with the Mad Hatter fusion, this would be the first fusion that I went for and will miss. because of my mistake. So because I missed the dragon tournament by 100 points, I didn't get the last 25 fragments for the epic, which means I won't be able to fuse the Mad Hatter on my alt account. The Mad Hatter is not going to do anything too crazy for my alt account. My alt account has Teox already, and Mad Hatter has Teox's ability on an A2, but Mad Hatter also brings some other utility, right? The AoE Hex, AoE Weaken, which is actually really good. Could maybe fit into some teams for me. Ultimately, it just kind of sucks. I made mistakes in the past where I've missed an event here or there. Although very rare, it does happen for me. But in those cases, I was lucky enough to still have it happen early enough in the fusion where I could adjust my plan and still make up for it. I think most recently it was the Thor fusion where I missed one event on one of my accounts, and then having the third summon event allowed me to basically catch up. But in this case, I had fully planned to go all in on the third summon event. So I set up my events to basically allow me to, do that and end up with the exact amount for all the epics and then for the Mad Hatter. But in this case, like I said, I'm short 25. There's nothing I can really do about it other than just pulling void shards. I'm not going to be pulling, like, if that was the case, I'm not going to be pulling void shards here for cardio or Tremera. She's a good champion after her buff. But I'm not going to be pulling for her. I have cardio on this account. So I would probably be, if I were pulling void shards, it would be for Marichka on day 2. The problem here is that it's non-boosted void shard rate, so you only got 8% chance in epics. So you're not going to have a very high chance of pulling epics to begin with. And then obviously there's so many epics in the game that's very unlikely that you're going to be pulling the fusion epic specifically. So I don't think that is a viable, reasonable option for me. I'm also not close to Mercy on this account. I'm actually at about 39. So there is a possibility where I pull all my void shards and I get absolutely nothing for it. Absolutely nothing. So there's no, I don't think that's a reasonable way for me to try to save this fusion. The silver lining here is that 3 of these Sabbatha Void epics is actually worth, over 1,000 champion chase points, which is significant, right? So you can kind of get back some value from all 3 of these epics, and then I can save these for as long as I want because they're fragments. And that's twice as much as what the Mad Hatter is worth during a champion chase. Not saying you can save Mad Hatter. You can't save the Mad Hatter for a champion chase unless there's a champion chase coming in 2 days and 9 hours. But there is a silver lining here to having the 3 void epics. Obviously, that's a little bit of copium on my side. And of course, the little extra 25 fragment here gives me potentially, a bit of gamble for Mauled, which I don't think I will ever get, right? 24 out of 100. It's very difficult for me to get her because I run my fusions events pretty tight, so I don't really have excess that goes into Mauled. Unfortunately, in this case, I ran my resources a little bit too tight, and I missed the final 25 on that dragon. I'm not short on resources, so I can easily bang this out. It's mainly just me being a little bit OCD, trying to max out my resources. Maybe I was waiting for the energy, the passive energy regen to fill up the last 100 points here. But what happened was basically I just fell asleep. I wasn't available most of the day, and then once I became available, I sat down, and that's that. That's that, right, guys? Like, I'm sure people can relate when you're so gassed that you just pass out. But I have the resources to complete this, no problem. It's mainly just an execution issue. I had it planned out, everything was going to plan, and then just couldn't execute at the final moments there. Honestly, it's, I'm still coping with it a little bit. I'm a little bit bummed. Like I said, this is the first time this has ever happened to me since playing Raid for over 4 years. I play 2 accounts full time. It's never happened to me at all on both accounts. And it's happened to me here for the first time. So, just trying to deal with it a little bit, digest it a little bit myself. I did sit back and think about this. Like, I was ready to pull. And then I was like, hey, I'm just going to double check, make sure that all the fragments are good. And then lo and behold, I was like, hey, I got 325. Where's the 25? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And boom. And I knew exactly what happened, right? I knew exactly what happened. So it's a little bit upsetting, but you know, life goes on and I'm okay with it in the end, right? Obviously, nothing we can do about it now. The only other option is to pull all my void shards, which, you know, that would be a double down factor. If I fail on the void pulls for the epic, which is a super high probability that I'm going to fail, it's a very big regrettable decision if I went that route. Obviously, I'm not going to, so it is what it is. Going to have to stomach the loss here. Like I said, the silver lining is I get 1,050 points from the 3 epics, if I so choose to, for Champion Chase one day. Anyways, folks, just a little bit of a reflection video here for myself. Probably need to scale back some things or maybe adjust some things so that maybe I'm not too tired, so that I can actually finish some things like, you know, my raid fusions. But you know, life happens. Life happens, and I've got to be okay with that. It's just a fusion. It's just a game. And you know what? I'm human. I make mistakes. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing on the fusion. Hopefully you guys got it. Hopefully you guys pulled something good for the summon rush and all that. Also, let me know if you guys have ever done fusions, botched them up. How badly did you guys botch them up? And were you guys able to maybe make a mistake and recover? That would be a cool story as well. I've done that once, like I said, with Thor, where I made a mistake once, but I was able to recover in the final events where I had some extra buffer room. In this case, I have no room for error, and I've, you know, made an error at the end. Basically the very end. A little bit unfortunate, but like I said, I'm human. I make mistakes. Real life happens. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it makes us all self-reflect a little bit on what we're doing in the game. And yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.